Quick guide to making tomato paste. 2 kilos of fresh tomatoes, field marked tomatoes or Roma tomatoes, just fresh tomatoes off the vine or from produce store if you don't grow your own, which is fine. You will then cut the tomatoes, skin and all, in half or quarters into a saucepan, which fills this 6-litre saucepan originally with just fresh tomatoes, 2 teaspoons of salt, medium heat, stirring occasionally for 1 hour. After an hour, we'll take the tomatoes and run them through a tomato juicer to remove the peels and the seeds. Then the tomato juice is then popped back onto the stove. Your 2 kilos of tomatoes will produce approximately a good 2 litres of juice. That 2 litres of juice then gets 2 cloves of garlic added to it, and then a teaspoon of citric acid gets popped back onto the stove on a medium heat for the next 2.5 hours until it reduces down and all the liquid has boiled away, and you end up with a nice rich tomato paste. And then from this point goes into the jars. You can add any further seasonings you want at this stage to your tomato paste. If you're using it for a pizza paste, for example, you can add a little bit of garlic powder and some onion powder as well to it, but I avoid using any additional herbs because we're going to be water bathing this, other than basil, because we're going to be water bathing this in a moment for another 45 minutes. Filled our jars, ladled them in. Just need to pop their lids on and then screw them down nice and tight. Their rims have been wiped as well so that they've got no stickiness on them that would prevent them sticking. Now, bean field tomatoes are quite low acidic, so they do need addition of either lemon juice or citric acid to make these guys shelf stable. And like I said, they're going to cook for a further 45 minutes in the water bath, and then they're ready to cool and go onto your shelves and will last as long as needed. Instant tomato paste. Well, not instant. It's taken 2.5 hours, 3.5 hours. Up until this point. Now, because we're water bathing, ensure that the limbs are on nice and snug before they then will get added to the water canner, which has got warm water that's coming up to temperature. I'll just bring its basket out. So we're using hot jars that were sterilised and hot liquid going into hot water bath. The lid goes on. Once they've been submerged, lid goes on, 45 minutes processing, and then allow 5 minutes for them to cool before bringing them out of the water bath. And then the tomato paste is ready to cool and go onto the shelf. Easy.